Hello there, 2D character animation students. Emily here with just a quick note about live streaming. I mentioned on Microsoft Teams this is not something, ironically, I can demonstrate live, but I have quite a few resources in the Week 15 folder, and one of the reasons I can't demo it is just because of the setup alone. You have to have a couple of things enabled, including a live stream using Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, etc. So you have to have quite a few things set up here, whether you do a one puppet stream or even two puppet stream. There's a better detailed graphic right here. And this page is also in the Week 15 folder. But it does require a little bit of setup, but let me just show you a quick overview of just some preparation that you would do. So you have your character. Last week we talked about animating them and whether you bring them into After Effects for finishing or whether you render them right from here under Export. Using the media coder would be recommended just because of some of the limitations QuickTime can have. You can also export just the puppet itself to share with other people to include the rigging. If you go to File Export, one of those options is Live Options. And Live Options is really just going to open you up to a page very similar to this with some information on it. To go to your settings, you want to go to the Character menu and choose Preferences. And this is crucial to live stream to begin with. You're going to go to your live output settings. And there you're just going to make sure that you enable the Mercury transmit and siphon. And then you can choose which monitor, whether it's and or, that you're going to be transmitting from. So you need to have this checked on in order to live stream to a live program like Twitch or YouTube. And so that's really the first thing you would do aside from having a character ready to go. To stream, after you set that up, you want to make sure that you have an alpha channel, so we'd actually turn on, or off rather, the background here, because this would be something that is incorporated into like a VTuber kind of thing. Maybe you'd be playing video games or talking over a subject, and then you'd have your character kind of talking down below live to what you're doing. Instead of record like we've been doing, we'd actually click on stream right here, or there's a little icon to the lower right of the stage that says stream live. So if I click stream, it takes us to something very similar to record. If we had triggers and replays, we can click generate controls just to make the performance easier. So if you added a wave or something like that, or a blink, you could do that, or any kind of cycle layer command. And then you would actually go and share that to the stream. Now, like I said, I can't demonstrate this with my setup, but that's why I have quite a few resources. Like I mentioned, this isn't something I can show properly with my setup, but that same link is right here, and some resources and examples to some really cool examples. Kind of an interactive live stream example, and maybe my favorite use of it. I was at San Diego Comic-Con when this was happening, but had no idea. There was a Ninja Turtle VR experience where fans were able to talk to the Donatello and Michelangelo voice actors in real time. So there was a whole crew of people. You put on a VR headset. There were people controlling the puppet movements. There was the people that it was lip syncing from with the voice actors. Just a really awesome fusion of technologies. I definitely would check out these two examples, and I'll be posting some more, but it's really exciting to see how the live stream is being used beyond just V-streaming kind of things, which is also really cool. But I like stuff that really pushes those boundaries and really creates new content. But you can kind of see an idea of the setup here with the multiple computers and then being shot against a blue screen, and just kind of what that whole rig would look like. So just a few things to get you started on live streaming. If you wanted to check it out, there is a little setup first that you would need, but I would check out the resources and definitely make sure and check your preferences and start with just turning on that Mercury transmit and siphon if your computer can do that. And then just putting your character together and thinking of what content you want to do. This isn't something you need to do for this class by any means. I just wanted to continue our talk about delivery options, and this is one that's very unique to Character Animator, made especially useful with just that real-time facial tracking and lip sync, just because you would be able to comment live to content, but also if you had like people viewing your channel, you would be able to actually have them also participate. So you just have to make sure that those things are armed. I was using the dragger earlier, so everything else was unarmed. Ironically, I was waving an arm. But once things are armed for animation, then it will respond if you're tracking your voice and camera. One cool shortcut, if you are doing live, if you hold down the semicolon key, it will stop tracking the face movements. This doesn't matter as much when you're recording because you could always edit. If you were live streaming and needed to like sneeze or take a sip of water or something, you wouldn't necessarily want the character also doing that movement. So semicolon just disables the camera momentarily so you don't have to click it on and off. So there's always more shortcuts and things that you can do. And then also just the generate controls. We talked about that briefly before, but if I wanted the character to blink if I clicked B instead of, or I've got S for smile, but I have just a left eye here with him. So if I wanted the left eye to do something and just be triggered by that, I would right click and create a trigger. And that just allows me to assign a single keyboard shortcut to that. That's really helpful whether you're in record mode or stream, as now I can click E and get a blink so I don't have to worry about it tracking my face. And that's definitely something that would simplify a live stream and allow you to focus on just the content. So you'd be able to create that control and just have those ready. So just a way to get started with live stream if you want to. Like I said, you don't need to do it for this class, but I always want to show as many options as I can, especially if you guys do online content like that. So have fun with it, play if you can, otherwise just keep working on those finals, which are due by next Friday. I'm accepting work until the last day of the semester, so please let me know if you have questions. Don't be afraid to reach out. You can use Microsoft Teams, you could email me, you could send a carrier pigeon, whatever works, but make sure you get those questions to me because I can't help you if I don't know that you need help. So have a great day and happy animating.